So here it is, the Chromecast. I'm not a reviewer of any kind. I've just been waiting for this for a long time. And I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to open the box for you. And I'm going to talk about why I wanted it. And hopefully it's going to do what I want it to do. I heard about it about 3 months ago when they announced something on it. Remote control, this and that. And I was thinking finally a remote control because currently I have the cheap version of the Chromecast. And it doesn't have a remote. So it's really kind of annoying. Yeah, everybody says, oh, you can use your phone, but it's not optimal, to open your phone, unlock it, or whatever, just to fast forward 10 seconds, or you miss something by the time you get your phone open, you gotta rewind 30 seconds. Anyway, so the Chromecast, this is in Canada. So we can see right here, compared to the US versions that I've been watching for 2 weeks, I've watched every review video on the Chromecast. And we can see the second thing is Netflix, where in the US version, the second thing is YouTube TV. So I'm just wondering how they're gonna implement the live section, the live tab of the Chromecast, because there's a For You, and then there's a movies and TV or something, and then there's a live section, which was basically meant for YouTube TV. So I'm wondering how they're going to handle that in Canada, because in Canada we don't have YouTube TV. So anyway, we're going to open it, and I'm going to talk about why I wanted it as I go through this opening procedure. One thing Google does nice packaging. It's very clean, very small. Actually, it's it's not too big at all. The other thing I'm going to tell you now is I'm just a user. I'm a stream. I want to watch TV. Basically, I want to watch TV. I don't care about games. And I really don't even care about the 4K HDR that it's supposed to have. It doesn't matter to me. I just want to be able to read subtitles and watch TV. My TV's not even that big. So it seems nice. There's a reset button here. And that's probably an LED. Feels nice. It's kind of is it the same material? Yeah, it's sort of the same matte finish as the old one. So that's the Chromecast itself. This is the remote, which thank God they finally made a remote. But there's a couple of problems. I'm going to talk about the Chromecast and the remote that I read, and I've also read a ton of articles on it. So the remote feels light. It doesn't have the batteries in it, but it feels light. The buttons are fairly nice, sensitive enough. And I think it's just a 4-way button with an OK in the middle. And then there's a volume on the side. So here's the RTFM. We don't need that. And it's kind of funny, as I'm undoing this, I'm going to talk about, I watched a lot of unboxing videos. And 2 of the recent ones yesterday, because it just came out in the rest of the world yesterday, where in Canada, in the US it was out September 30th, and everywhere else it was October 15th. So the rest of the Europe is getting it yesterday, and there was a couple of unboxing videos which kind of made me laugh. Go back and look at them and see if you think anything. The batteries go the same direction. Interesting. And the light goes on. And I guess it stays on until it's paired. So let's not put them in yet. So charging port, you have to use a charging port on this one. You can't plug it in the back of your TV. Maybe if you have a newer TV, it'll work. But you need at least, this is a 1.5 amp. And you need, I think they said 1 amp or 780 or something. So most TVs or most old chargers, original chargers, were only 500 milliamps, so half an amp. But this is 1.5 amps. So what do I want out of this? I want to watch movies. And ideally some TV, live TV, at a reasonable price. So right now my TV is Bell. In Canada we have Bell, and it's Bell 5 TV. And eventually I want to cut the cord. So what do I want to replace with this? I want to replace my Chromecast because it's kind of annoying. It's useless. You cast stuff from your phone, and that's it. That's all. The other thing I have a Android box here, which is okay, and this one, it runs well, but it doesn't it's also not very user friendly, because if I want to watch something in Netflix or Amazon, I have to go in, find out where I was. And what I kind of liked about this one is it has that For You page, which I'm going to talk about in either the next video or at the end of this video, depending on how much I talk now. So this one's an Android box, so it's just, apps, running apps, and it's hard to find content unless you're looking for one thing specific. Here, the For You page, it gives you why don't you watch this? Why don't you watch that? So that's kind of interesting on this one. So we'll put that aside. So that's the Android box, and this is the remote for the Android box. It's a fairly okay remote, but it was always took 2 times, or I wasn't pressing hard enough to do things. And it did have a TV button, so I could turn on and off my TV and switch to the input of the TV and the volume. So that's one thing I'm replacing. Then I also had, where is it? 1, 2, 3. This thing, this is an old thing. This is a Western Digital WTV Live. And what you do with this is you plug in a hard drive, and it plays almost any media that you could put. There's the remote control for that one. And this is the remote control for my Bell. This was nice because I actually have 4 of these. One of them had the hard drive plugged in with my movies and home movies and things in it, and pictures, and it would share the hard drive to the rest of them. So every other one in the house would be able to see that first one's hard drive and share it along. And I've never had problems with buffering or anything over my network. And this one was, it's got a network port, but it's also Wi-Fi. And I always ran it off Wi-Fi. It's never had a problem. What else? Where is that thing? Did I bring it up? So let's get rid of this. So one of the problems is that I read is when let's say you're in Netflix, and I'm not sure it's going to work or not, but I'm going to just talk about what I kind of read, is these buttons don't do what you would expect them to do. If you're in Netflix and you want to skip 10 seconds, I don't think it's doing that. I think you have to press down arrow and go to the slide bar and slide the bar left and right. I don't think it does the back and forth. So I read. That's the only annoyance feature on that I can think of. Other than that, you can access your TV, power on and off, and the input selection, and the volume. You also have the assistant button. You hold it down, you say do this, do that, and it's going to do it for you. You can find the content you want. And I'll talk about that more next. The other thing people are complaining about is that it doesn't have user profiles. So the first person to set it up is going to get all the For You information. Oh, do you want to see this? Do you want to see that? So once my wife starts watching it and she's watching her shows, I'm going to say, oh, do you want to see the next episode of that in my For You page, even though she was watching it and it doesn't interest me at all. But I kind of read that it's a point they're looking into fixing. I don't know if that's true or not, but they're going to fix that to make more user profiles. I don't know if it's more than one or more than two. More than 2. Might be just 2. I don't know how many you need. And I'm also wondering that in Netflix, when you play a Netflix movie, it plays it directly from the interface. You don't have to go into Netflix to play a movie. And under which profile in Netflix does it play from? So if I have one and my wife has a profile in Netflix and she's playing a movie, am I going to see it in my profile or in her profile, or it doesn't go into a profile at all? I'll figure that out later. I'm missing something. Also, I bought a little keyboard for it. Just give you a size, just because I hate trying to type, finding A, F, G, L, P with the remote, so I'm just going to use that. And this is a Bluetooth compatible one. This is also Bluetooth. And I'm wondering if I can buy another remote, so I can have two remotes for the same Chromecast that will have the same functions. That would be useful, because I don't want to fling this to my wife every time she wants to change a channel. She'll have her remote and I'll have my remote for one Chromecast. Nobody's talked about that yet, and we'll see. So basically, I want to get rid of all of that stuff over there. Oh, one other little thing I want to talk about. This is a USB cable charger, magnetic version. So I put this on all my phones and all my little devices, and so I only need one charging cable, and it just snaps in nicely. I like that. I really like that one. Anyway, that's not part of the Chromecast. So that's it. My next step is going to be setting it up. I'm not going to show you the setup. I'm going to just show you the interface and talk about the interface once it's on. Setting it up takes about 10 minutes, and I don't want to go through that. And I'm not an editor. Bye-bye. Until the next video.